I'd like to show you an integration that we've carried out between our Service Manager Engineer application and Infomill's PartsArena app. To enable the integration, we've added an additional field into Service Manager. This field appears in two places. When you look against the equipment library, against items in your library, you will find that there is a new field there called Gas Council Number. If you use a library item against a site, that will cascade down. If we look against a specific site and have a look at the equipment list on that site, you'll find that against an item down here, I have a valid gas council number against it. That will then create us our link. Looking at how that appears within the app itself, if I select a job that's been sent to Service Manager Engineer, the task against it has a PartsArena button against it because this item has a valid gas council number on it, and when I click onto the task I can see what that is. Clicking onto the PartsArena button automatically launches your PartsArena application and takes you instantly to the correct item. From here I can now access parts lists and exploded diagrams for the boiler. On the exploded diagram I can navigate around, I can zoom in and out, and if I tap onto a figure number it will jump straight to that item in the parts list at the bottom of the screen. Within the PartsArena application, when you select an item you can then add that to a pick list, and I'm going to add a couple of items onto my pick list. Like so. Having added items onto a pick list, when I go and have a look at my pick list, I can see that I have those items here, and I can share those back with the Service Manager Engineer application. If I click onto the share button, and I'm going to remove the items from that pick list after they've been passed across, I immediately see those items back within the Service Manager Engineer application. Now you can select one or you can select more than one, but for each of the items that you've got here, or for your selection rather, you have a number of actions that you can now do. This is very dependent on the level of permission that your engineer has, because each of these options can be locked off to individual engineers. But if I wanted to simply add this item as a part to the job, it shows me the visits that I'm on. Service Manager Engineer knows which job I'm in anyway, and to accept that I can simply come back out, and that's now gone against the parts used list on this job. That item's also been removed from the list because it has been dealt with. Alternatively, I can select an item and then I could add that directly to a purchase order if I'm an engineer on the way to a particular supplier, at which point the normal functionality within the Service Manager Engineer app resumes. You select a supplier, the item is there, the engineer can click onto that and add in additional information if required, and as soon as that purchase order has been completed, you get dropped back to the job as you've now dealt with all of the individual parts. You can always get back in to the parts lists in PartsArena by clicking onto the icon again, and it takes you straight back in, or from there you can manually go back to the Service Manager Engineer app. This is an integration that we're hoping is going to provide very useful for a lot of people, and I hope you enjoyed my explanation. Thank you.